time I turn around, that puss ass nigga in Detroit got something to say. MoneyBoy trade this, MoneyBoy trade that. Nigga, what's up? You don't want no smoke, bitch ass nigga. I'ma stay counting money. Run it up. Big face, blue honey. Run it up. What's beef, you don't want it. Extended clip, hold a honey. Drummer now, you don't want it. Drummer now, you don't want it. Drummer now, you don't want it. Extended clip, hold a honey. I'ma stay counting money. Run it up. Big face, blue honey. Run it up. What's beef, you don't want it. Extended clip, hold a honey. Drummer now, you don't want it. Drummer now, you don't want it. Drummer now, you don't want it. Extended clip, hold a honey. Extended clip, hold a honey. Trap lag, gotta jump in. 2 for 1, Tim Duncan. Back and forth, fiend coming. Blue faces out honey. Paper chasing, bitch, I run it. I'm a star, I'm a comet. Drippin' sauce while I'm stunning. 000 comma. Cape Coast in Guyana. 3 bitches with me thinking shit. Probably ticket kicking in the sun. State game, beating Hunter. Stupid loud marijuana. Lord Miller, born and raised, got it up the blade, hustling on the corner. Shades Dolce and Gabbana. Prison just a shit Obama. Country thug JJ, MoneyBoy trade, niggas got a problem. Pussy niggas used to rob them. Kept a 38 revolver. Got a problem solver. Red diamond like the Cardinal. 100 rounds in my arsenal. Treat her up like a hostel. I got shooters on the roster. Dreadhead niggas roster. Real deal, no imposter. Legendary, I'm a rockstar. Real deal, no imposter. Legendary, I'm a rockstar. I'ma stay counting money. Big face, blue honey. What's beef, you don't want it. Extended clip, hold a honey. Drummer now, you don't want it. Drummer now, you don't want it. Drummer now, you don't want it. Extended clip, hold a honey. I'ma stay count money. Big face, blue honey. What's beef, you don't want it. Extended clip, hold a honey. Drummer now, you don't want it. Drummer now, you don't want it. Drummer now, you don't want it. Extended clip, hold a honey.
1 Glock, 2 shots. They dead like 2 bye. I'm old school like a 2 truck. I'm really keeping working 2 Let's get it. Gucci linen on my ass. I ride designer like a mother. These niggas hit you like a fall. I'm smoking cold, no walk. Nigga self-made, a nigga boss. Nigga 10,000, that's a boss. Come on. Fake little feel, Kenny lost it. My middle name should be caution. My trap booming, it's a option. What you want, nigga? For that word, they paying around. What you need, nigga? Gucci, but I'm young and handsome. Skinny tall like Brad Sampson. A lot of niggas that can feel me. This man a chicken ain't sending me. Feeling like I want a lot of like Mike Gibson, all about the Benjamin. Multiplying like a gremlin. Sub-Zero about to finish him. Got no tape, people murder plots, what the judge said. When he sentenced him, it was one of me, about 10 of him. Keep a body pad like Eminem. Me and Joe was kinda similar. We be something like a synonym. Motivation like a head coach. Push on your back like a dead coach. Boss got a DBA everywhere, but I'm going in, I'm calling head quote.
I'ma stay counting money. Big face, blue honey. What's beef, you don't want it. Extended clip, hold a honey. Drummer now, you don't want it. Drummer now, you don't want it. Drummer now, you don't want it. Extended clip, hold a honey. I'ma stay counting money. Big face, blue honey. What's beef, you don't want it. Extended clip, hold a honey. Drummer. Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing? I apologize for not going live last night, but shortly after I gave Grayson her medicine and it was still the first quarter of the game, I found myself asleep. Then I woke up at 11, and then I woke up at 11, looked around, was like, am I finna? Nah, went back to sleep. And I've been up since 5. I started to go live at 5, but Candy probably would have been the only one up. But so as you see, well, as I told y'all yesterday, I joined Jed's live yesterday. I called in because he was talking about Charlie Kirk, and he was saying Charlie Kirk didn't sound like a Christian because he spewed racism. And I was like, why is you shocked, nigga? This is literally how we got introduced to the Bible. Some racist motherfuckers telling us to obey our slave masters and niggas wasn't supposed to read and all this shit. And I was just saying, historically, the Bible has been used for racism. I even told him in the Bible was used for racism. I said, you say you have a chosen people out of the hundreds of nations on the world, and you got a chosen people. So what does this say about the other people? And so that's how the conversation started. We're about to get into it. I think I come up shortly. I'm close to where I came up at. But here we go.
Unacceptable. And I hate the fact that it was done in the name of my God, because that ain't how he wrote. Sorry, caller. Give me a second. Caller, welcome to the call. Let me pause. Welcome to the call. How you doing? You got an opinion?
What's going on, Congressman Brown? MoneyBoy Trey here.
What's going on, MoneyBoy? Been a minute.
Yeah, you be busy, son, and you running for seats and shit. I get it. But I am shocked that you're saying that this man was using racism and promoting Jesus. It's always been like that. The Bible did it. Hitler did it. Come on. You got chosen people in the Bible. So that means everybody else is just left out in the cold. You had Jacob and Esau. There's a difference in there. And I think the Bible also says you have favor if you're light-skinned or something like that. So it's always been promoting Jesus and racism at the same time. So I don't know why you shocked.
But because the Bible has never done that.
How? If you have a chosen people out of all the nations in the world, how is that not racism? You're saying one is better than the other.
No. Because that would become, see, that is the danger of the Bible without the, what I would call to be submitting your understanding to the leading of the Lord. I've always understood a chosen people not to being a better people, but to being a people that is given, they're given more to be an example. He picked a people to be an example, not to be a priority or to be better. And the people that he picked were the people who were the oppressed. He picked the underdog so that he would raise them up, and he required them to be the example and the proof that he was God.
He picked them as the underdog to lead them to the top, though. He had the underdog kill lots and lots of people so that they could get their promised land and keep their promised land and things of that nature. It's a favorite. You're chosen. Even we just gonna listen. Never mind.
He did not want them to become oppressors. He wanted them to become liberated.
But they became oppressors, though. They did.
His son was a Jew. His son was his son was one of the chosen people, but he could have been any other name.
Yeah, now explain that one. The chosen people are the Jews, the Hebrews, whatever you may call them. How his son become one of them chosen people? That had to be divine plan, right?
But he was that one. But we'll go past that.
But hold on, because I can't rush past it, because that's why I says that to whom much is given, much is required. Whenever Jesus' chosen people were disobedient, he turned them over to be dealt with by the other races. So how is it that it was about them being racist?
Because it's the chosen people, and they have a promised land. Everybody else ain't got no promised land.
Yeah, but again,
I feel like the Zionist propaganda is only that. Like, they use that as, we are the chosen people, and it's propaganda.
They use Christianity to promote racism. It's always happened. Like, look what slavery did. It used the Bible to promote racism. Look what the KKK did, enough to the point where they burn crosses in your yard.
Yes, but literally,
it's always been like.
But literally, MoneyBoy Trey, and I'm just saying this as a real believer who follows closely. The scribes and the Pharisees used the law, which is what the Bible was, to the point where they tried to kill the very Son of God himself. So people have always misused the Bible or the law and its intent. That is why.
Oh, I agree.
Right. So I don't think that was ever God's intent. Superiority was never God's intent. It was always about example. That's why even today,
if it wasn't God's intent, God could have stopped it. God did not stop. He continues to allow people to pervert his so-called word to oppress people. This ain't no getting around it. God did all these miracles in the world and showed himself and showed his power way back then. But in 2025, this nigga's just disappeared. Fuck, in 2000, he disappeared. In the 90s, he disappeared. Where are all the miracles and the showing of power now? Now we just gotta wait and believe that he gonna do the shit that he used to do back in the day when there's no indication that he is or ever did the shit that people believe. But yeah, if it wasn't his intent, why wouldn't he stop it? I mean, it wasn't his intent. It wasn't his intent to destroy the whole world, but at some point he realized the world was wicked and he regret making man. And he killed everybody except for Noah and his family. So he stopped some evil shit, even though the evil shit returned. That's the crazy part about it. You wipe out the world because the world is too wicked and the world becomes wicked again. That don't seem like an all-knowing God to me.
If you're called,
wait. He regretted making man. He destroyed the earth because it was too wicked. Noah and his family came out. They repopulated the entire earth, and the earth got so wicked again that he had to send his child down to fix it. And it still didn't fix it. It did not fix the problem. The evil and shit is still going on. So what did Jesus stop?
of God is not for you to be special or better, but it's for you to
That's how I started off.
and to be proof and an example.
They didn't catch him.
But
He
when
turned
people
himself
find out
in.
what their gifts are, they pervert it, and then they try to become gods, or they try to become personalities, and then they try to become more than what they're supposed to be, and then it becomes they mishandle people. But I don't think that should be laid at the hand of God, bro.
Okay, explain Jacob and Esau. Which one was dark and got the favor or the disfavor of God? You know what I'm saying? It's whoever wrote it, they wrote it that way to promote.
That gave them pause because everybody know Esau was the dark skin. He was the dark skinned heroine. He did not have favor over Jacob. He did not. Why did God choose? Even still, that's choosing the favorites. We'll take the color out of it, even though Esau is described as darker than his brother. There's favorites there. There's always a tone of favoritism in the Bible. In the prodigal son, there's favoritism. The son that ran, the fuck up son that ran off had more favor. It was the younger brother, had more favor than the older brother who did everything right. There has always been favoritism, racism, whatever you call it in the Bible. Always.
Racism. They did. There's so many examples of it happening in there. That's what I'm saying. Like, you should be shocked that people are still doing it to this day because it's always been done. It's just what people do.
So when you look at this text, do you feel that, so you believe that Charlie Kirk's message was on par with the Bible?
I believe it's on par with what racist people have used the Bible to do.
Okay, now that I agree with.
But they're taking their message from the Bible, though.
No, I don't disagree with that.
They back in the shit they say up with scripture.
And I said that's the problem. But if we then take that offense and we become hateful, then I feel that we're doing the same thing and we're no different.
And that's why we need to use discernment.
I'll ask a question. Were the slave masters wrong for reading the scripture that's in the Bible that says slaves obey your slave master? Are they wrong for quoting it because it was in the Bible and they can say God said it? And that's the point I was making. People, they've always used the Bible to justify their racist shit. That the Hebrew Israelites used the Bible with their black asses to justify their racist shit.
Because they're not representing God, they're representing a system in which.
We also got into an argument about the word racism too, and I'm so sick of niggas applying definitions that that's not the definition that's in the dictionary. Niggas have added their own spin to it and said, no, you got to be in a position of power. That ain't what the definitions say. And so Every time people start saying it to me, so I'm gonna say, well, okay, then I'm gonna agree with you. This poor white trash motherfucker that called you a nigger can't be racist because they don't have no power to oppress you or put you to nothing. They doing worse than you. So they can't be racist because they called you nigger. I'm gonna see how niggas start responding off that when they tell me, no, you got to have a system. Black people can't be racist. That's bullshit. Black people say that to excuse their racism. When we get to that portion of it, I'm gonna read the definition from the Webster Dictionary of what racism is. And it's never what these niggas say. Not you, Jib, but niggas in general. But niggas always change the definition up.
They pervert it and, to perpetuate abuse, perpetuate violence, perpetuate the stigmas and all type of bigoted beliefs.
Should he have been assassinated?
I don't know the lady. Jen figured out who she was doing the
No,
call. I guess he ran her number.
No, it's not karma because it couldn't be karma because if y'all believe that before you're born.
Let's say it was Charlie Kirk's death karma.
Should he have been assassinated?
That's between him and God.
Is it karma?
No,
is it karma?
No, he shouldn't have. No, it's not karma because it couldn't be karma because if y'all believe that before you're born in your daddy's and mama's loins and wombs that you got a death date, then no, it wasn't karma. It was already written.
Oh, you believe that it was divine timing?
I'm not a believer, so I'm just saying, in believers' beliefs, that's what it should be.
I was on the phone, so I didn't get to hear his face. This his first time hearing. I'm an atheist. I was on the phone, so I didn't get to see his face. Let me see his face where he heard that I'm not a believer. Let's see. And then shortly after that, somebody asked him, Jed, why are you hanging out with him? What the fuck? I'm on a phone call about a particular topic. Where you get hanging with me from? These niggas is crazy.
That before you're born in your daddy's and mama's loins and wombs that you got a death date, then no, it wasn't karma. It was already written.
Oh, you believe that it was divine timing?
I'm not a believer, so I'm just saying, in believers' beliefs, that's what it should be. It should be divine timing and not
you don't
karma.
even
believe. See, ain't that just like a Christian? You don't believe, you can't talk about it. Well, I used to believe. That makes me more qualified to talk about it because I used to believe. I used to think just like y'all, so I understand how y'all think. I just don't do it anymore. But I'm the perfect person to speak on it now. If I had never known about the Bible, ever read it, ever went to Catholic school, never took religion classes for 8 years and all of that, then yeah, I could agree. Yeah, you don't, bro, you ain't never heard nothing about this. But nah, I used to be y'all. That's why I was able to say, hell no, it's not. How the fuck is it karma if everybody got an expiration date? In fact, the guy that shot Charlie Kirk was fulfilling his divine plan. None of these Christians are saying that though. That's what they supposed to believe. This person executed God's will for Charlie Kirk to come home to God. That's how it was planned out. Nothing happened by circumstance, free will or not. That man was designed to kill. Because I guess Judas had free will, but if Judas had chose the other way, then we wouldn't have the Jesus story now, would we? So he didn't really have free will because his purpose was to betray Jesus. That's what Judas was born for. He wasn't born not to betray Jesus because none of the shit y'all believe would be possible if Judas turned down the 30 pieces of silver. I'm just saying.
That doesn't even make sense.
I used to believe, and that's why I said if y'all believe that everything is written, you got a predestined death date, then you can't call it karma. Karma would mean there is no predestined death date. It's just a happenstance. It happened by accident.
That's how most of our supporters are, peanut butter.
Okay, hold on for a second. Don't end the call. I'm gonna take one more call, and then we can.
I shouldn't have no support of some of the shit I done on here. I shouldn't have none. I have been a despicable person at some time. I enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold you. I enjoy every minute of it because motherfuckers shouldn't have took me there. I enjoyed it. But in retrospect, I did some fucked up shit. Would I do it again? Probably not, but I'm human, and if I get pushed there, it could come out, but that's not my aim. My aim is to stay away from those situations that I found myself doing despicable shit in. I try to avoid them now. Instead of like embracing it and like, come on in, let's go. I know you can't match my level of low downness. You can't.
Continue our discussion. 9653. Welcome to the panel. You got the floor.
Hey, Snow Cold.
Hello.
Hey, Natasha.
9653. Okay. They don't recognize that. Not okay. Taking them off.
Here come the lady.
That my point here
the lady about to come up.
Pick and choose parts of the Bible while you are reading the Bible.
Are you backstage?
DMV,
True?
I would really like for you to come on and explain what you're saying because I can't follow all these comments. Basically, what I'm saying is, do you all feel that the country is this the?
I think all decent people know this man shouldn't have been assassinated. I think all decent people know that. Just like all decent people know George Floyd shouldn't have died. Don't matter what he did, it didn't deserve death. It's just the few, and most of the people that's saying it, they just doing it to get a reaction from people. Like, we have to realize we are in the social media age, and everybody is saying and doing shit to get people to watch them, whether they believe it or not. They're just doing it to get people to comment under their shit so they can get engagement or they can get views, and that's just what the fuck it is. But all decent people know he shouldn't have been assassinated.
Country we've always been. Are we going backwards or are we choosing at this point? What's happening? I'm asking you two.
I think that was the point. When that's the whole MAGA thing, is to go backwards, is to.
But see, Sonya, that don't make sense, because whether we do wicked or evil, we gonna die anyway. We gonna die anyway, whether we do wicked or evil. And see, when verses like that come out, I have to think about all the babies that die in the womb that didn't do no evil, babies that died 2 weeks old that didn't do no evil, baby that died 1 month old, 2 month old, on up to a year that didn't do no evil. Well, fuck it. Babies up to the age to where they can't talk or learn did no evil and they died. So that verses like that don't make no sense.
At a time where white people ruled and, black people were subservient and didn't have any power. I think that's, and if things weren't going how they wanted to, they resorted in violence and things like that. I think that's the point. But I think that
what you said, Peanut Butterface, that be shocking me too. Like, man, this evil son bitch still alive. Why is this old evil motherfucker still out here torturing people at 99? It's like I don't know what the hell be going on. It be like you took the wrong person, God. You let this evil motherfucker stay alive and this person died. This repeat DUI driver didn't had a goddamn wreck and took out a whole family that just left church, and you left this evil drunk motherfucker alive to be able to drink, because he ain't gonna do no life sentence. He gonna get out of jail and keep drinking. It be fucked up. It be fucked up. It do.
There is a resistance. There is
a resistance. What's going on, Jabbar? Good morning, Lady Marie.
What you think, MoneyBoy?
I had to ask you to repeat the question.
Do you think that this country has always been like this? Is it going backwards, or are we choosing to become this way now?
It's always been like this, but It's gotten better. We can tell it's gotten better from what our just even grandparents went through. But it's almost like the norm now. I hate to say it, but it's almost like the norm. It was just another school shooting.
Hold on. I think everybody forgot it was 9/11 yesterday. We talked about Charlie Kirk so damn much. We forgot about 9/11. Thank you for the $50 cash app that said teach the people. Shout out to you. I don't think I've ever seen your name before.
We appreciate $1, but we would rather have 10. We appreciate $20, but we would rather have 50. We appreciate $50, but we would rather have 100. We appreciate $100, but we would rather have 200. Thank you, Sister Avanti, $10 coming on the Cash App. Thank you, sister. Next time, make it 20, but thank you for that 10. I know you barely had that. Thank you, sister.
Javar, were you in this live? I know he wouldn't do it, but I wish I could get that old lady number so I could argue with her. I actually enjoyed myself though. I was laughing at the lady. I dealt with shit like that. I turn this shit on and off. I don't think people understand. I cut this shit on and off. So if I don't feel like just cussing your ass out and being belligerent, because that's the show business side, I won't. Now, I can still troll and be respectful at the same time. I can still make you seem like a dumbass while not yelling or anything. What I can do. But I like arguing her. I need to get her on the phone because she don't stop it, though. You got to mute her a few times because she won't stop. And then the crazy part about it is you'll listen to her go on for 7 minutes, and then as soon as you get 2 words out, she interject. And you're like, bruh. She said a lot of good shit, though. I will give her that. I agreed with her when she came up. And then she went into this part about Jed, and then she went back to what she was talking about at the beginning. And he couldn't wait for that part. We actually forgot about everything else he said because he was like, hell nah, bitch, did you just say I done worse? But we finna get to it.
Today, this shit is normal. People have a disagreement, they kill you, or they try to cancel you, or what you going through with the fake trying to silence you by saying you can't go to meetings and just utilizing the system for bullshit. It's the norm.
We're angry, and it is literally. I just don't think that. I think that these are unprecedented times for me because I've never witnessed these things, but it's starting to echo things that I've read about in history books. And it's kind of like we're under siege and people are asleep. Either they don't care or they don't know what to do. It's weird. Charlie Kirk said
most of them are asleep. That 95% deaf and dumb, that's true.
Charlie Kirk said that the reason why he is concerned about if you see a black pilot, wondering if they are qualified is because with DEI, it took 3% of pilots.
First of all, again, he showed a picture of a black pilot the other day, and I had to go back to all my times of flying, and I've been flying since I was 12. I'm 42. I've never had a black pilot. Hell, I've never seen one. I've never seen a black co-pilot. On the flip side, I've never had or seen a woman pilot either. I'm sure they exist. I just ain't seen them. But that means they are in the minority if every time a nigga get on a plane or is in an airport and get walked past by a crew of people, it's always white men. So yeah, Charlie Kirk again, at that point, he was just being a goddamn dick because he probably ain't never seen a black fucking pilot. But Charlie Kirk also knew that's a moment that'll get people to talk. It's gonna be black people saying, hell no, you racist. And it's gonna be white people telling them, go on, brother, preach. And that's what he did. That's how he made his money.
As being black and required it to become 50%, such a high number in such an accelerated space or time, meaning that they would not possibly bear the amount of training and skills necessary because they were simply chosen because of their color and not their ability. What do you feel about that?
I personally, for what you just said, that's hogwash. I personally think he said it. I don't think he was racist, but he said it because he's a public figure, and he watched Donald Trump toe that line of racism and saw there's a backing for it, and he leveraged that to provide a way for him and his family. I don't think he's racist, though, but I mean, you can have some racist undertones, and we all know there's going to be some people that support the shit.
And to you, young lady, what do you think about that statement?
I don't know, because Charlie never really showed his sources of where he was getting these statistics from, so I really never really trusted the things that he said. Like, I didn't even listen to it for real, because I didn't know, like, where are you getting this information from? Where are you getting these, cite your sources and where you getting these statistics from? But I do believe that I don't know if he was racist. I mean, he that's what he was given. But again, like, I do agree with the whole grifting. Like, there's a very much so an audience.
Man, a young white boy. Now, he almost had got away when they started circulating that one picture of him at the bottom of the steps and walking and shit. I knew it was about a time, but I didn't know that. I didn't think he was going to turn himself in. Well, I guess I don't know. Yeah, we probably will get to see some interrogation videos unless the feds took over this case. But if it's local police or state police, we'll still get to see some interrogation footage eventually. I guess that's the good thing. I thought the nigga was gonna kill itself.
The demographic that will pay for that. So
I think this whole debate about if he was racist or not is not what I would be concerned about. We have a racist governor in the state of Illinois. Racism is about utilizing your power and your position to oppress.
That's what black people typically tell you racism is. They're saying racist. They say racism isn't words necessarily, but they call somebody who called them a nigger racist. They can't be racist if they just using words. Now, the dictionary calls racism prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution against a person or people based on their membership in a particular race or ethnic group, typically one that is minority or marginalized. Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism. So it doesn't have to be you in a position of power and using your position of power. It doesn't, that's not a prerequisite for being racist or for racism. I don't know why black people have adopted that, but I do know why. They say that to excuse their own racism because we know we could be racist back to people too. I, for one, know when that white bitch Beth was out there that night when Jed got to fighting, I called her all types of mayonnaise smelling, dog kissing. I was racist as a motherfucker to her, and nobody said anything to me. Nobody. No, when I say nobody said nothing to me about what I was saying about Beth, nobody. So my racism was excused. I don't know what nobody else did. I'm talking about me. My racism was excused in the chat. But I guess it's because I ain't had no position of power to affect Beth or nothing. So I could just say and do what I want to because I ain't got no power. That's why I said next time I hear that, because somebody call a black person nigger, they're not racist. They ain't got no power. They can't use no power. They ain't got it. So they just, whatever they're bigots, they prejudice, whatever you want to call it. They ain't racist though, just because they called you a nigger. Just because they called you a monkey doesn't make them a racist. Just because they said go back to Africa, that's not racist according to y'all's definition. Did you see the catch-22 y'all putting people in with this new definition of racism?
Another race. He literally said before being elected that he wanted to take the Secretary of State's role, which had all the jobs, and he wanted to give something else to the black folks to handle the black thing, but he wanted all the jobs to go to other communities. And we elected him. So racism is not our hang up. Anytime somebody says something about us or says something that we don't like, we consider or try to.
How long have I been following Jed? I guess when the Dalton shit kicked off and he showed up, that was my introduction to him. Now I heard about him from I had just heard his name a lot from the people in the J4K sector, the Justice for Kanika Jenkins sector. I heard his name, but I never heard, I never saw any of his stuff until he popped up at that meeting that day. And then he's got I think from there I may have seen him on Facebook, and I was like, bro, you gotta bring this shit to YouTube. Because if y'all notice, at one point I was taking his videos from Facebook and uploading them on YouTube, and then they was getting good views on them. I was like, bro, you need to bring this shit over to YouTube. And I said, shit, motherfuckers have been saying your name for years, and I never knew who the fuck you were. So 2 years, because yeah, that's about the time the Dalton shit. Yeah, about 2 years. Not long.
If they're racist or not. Racism is about intentionally oppressing another group that does not have the ability or the means to get over whatever hump you're trying to
see. Now you know him since 2017 with the Kanika Jenkins,
making it a level playing field.
I heard about him in 2023.
He's racist or not. I just think fundamentally his message was flawed. But I think that it wasn't.
I believe he represented.
I think that his message was not shrouded in his faith as much as it was shrouded in his fear. That's my opinion.
Yes. Yeah, I believe that he represented bigotry. Absolutely. That he was a spokesperson for bigotry.
It's rooted in money.
Think about this. He was preaching a message of Christianity that's like saying Christianity is the superior religion. You need to be doing this. We got these values, X, Y, and Z. It's just crazy because just the big three religions will argue amongst each other who's the best and who got the right God. All three of them will.
Your thoughts.
Thank you so much, hi Jed.
Here she go.
Chat. My thoughts is
she finna start cooking it
really,
first.
I know a lot of people don't get mad at me, but I think black people is the most hypocritical people because they do the same thing as this man. They preach hate.
She ain't lying.
They preach fear. They do everything.
What Umar Johnson say every day? Umar Johnson preaches black unity, black power, not race mixing. No different than what the white nationalist preaches. White power, not race mixing, white unity. He preaches the same exact shit. Yet no one will call him racist except for me.
Way worse than this man. And you know, I agree with the sister.
You made it back, Candy.
Hello, it just never ceased to amaze me. They racist against Trump.
Y'all heard me say, I agree with the sister.
They racist against Republicans. They speak all manner evil against him. They have their opinions just like this man have his opinion. That was this man's opinion. He has a right to freedom of speech, just like black people do. When they come on there and say all manner evil, and I like you, Jed, but you do too, against women, old people.
Jed tuned out and like if he wasn't paying attention at first, but when she said, Jed, you too, you talk about women. He was like, all right.
and use the Bible to bag all this stuff up. People use the scriptures to what they want to use.
No, you know these folk be calling me coon. If you was a Republican, you a coon. If you a conservative, you a coon. You MAGA. You're a tether. You're a sellout. You're a Uncle Tom. Look what they did to Colin Powell and Condoleezza Rice. Look at them. These people had esteemed jobs in the president's cabinet, and instead of black people celebrating it, they called them coons and sellouts because they're with a different party.
Because a lot of stuff I see you did, I'm saying, how in the world can God be in there anywhere? You know, when he told everybody, you know, to respect elders and fight elders and women and all that. But if this man got an opinion now, he's not godly, and he ain't did half of the stuff you did, and people still support.
Charlie Kirk ain't did half the shit Jed done. Son of a bitch. Look at him, look, he like, what you say, bitch?
What you and God, and you still pray.
He can't wait till she get done. He like, I'm gonna tear this bitch up.
People, love your neighbor as yourself. And if you doing all this stuff, everybody doing, black people doing all this stuff, they ain't showing no love, and that's what the world lacked. When my grandparents or I was coming up, we had love. We could.
This is the crazy part about it, how this woman came at me, because I agree with everything she said except about the jail part. Now, he started talking to her first, but I just wanted to ask her. I just was like, so are you saying calling somebody a bitch or a hoe is worse than bigotry? Or hate speech? That's worse than hate speech? That's what I wanted to know, and it went left from there.
Go to the neighbors and get stuff. We can do things, but you can't do that now. Everybody got an opinion. Only black people preach hate more than anybody and get mad at you if you don't think the same way they think. If I'm not a Democrat, then I'm a Trump lover.
The lady ain't lying, except on Jed.
You're taking away people's choices that God didn't do. I gave man a freedom to choose.
Hey, man. And everybody ignores me when I say this. Y'all say there's free will, right? There's free will. Well, Pharaoh was going to exercise his free will. When Moses first brought his ass there, Pharaoh was like, man, fuck these little measly ass Jews. I don't need them. Pharaoh was going to let the slaves go. And what did God do? God hardened his heart so that he would say no, so that he could show his power. God took away Pharaoh's free will, and nobody listens to me when I say it, but God damn it, he did. It's in the Bible. He hardened his heart. Why would he need to harden his heart if it was no from the beginning? Why did God intervene if you got free will?
And black people, if you don't choose the Democrat, oh, you're going to hell, you're going to burn forever, and you can't even have your own opinion. Now, that was that man's opinion, and everybody on here judging him that don't say worse things about Trump and white people and Republicans than anybody. That was that man's opinion. Who is us to judge and say he was racist, wrong in his opinion? Like we got opinion. Like black people got opinion because they very opinionated about what they want you to do as a person. You know, they want to throw you in the slaughter.
Okay, well,
but yet they say they got God.
So let me ask you a question, because you just asserted that I have said worse things. For example, could you give me a time when I've said something worse?
A whole lot, Jay.
Yeah,
just call people bitches, whores. Hold
on, y'all. I really want to give her the opportunity.
No, you call people bitches and whores. You parade your lifestyle all in the name of Jesus. all in the name of Jesus. But it's totally against the word of God.
So how many times have you seen me or heard me say that I was doing that because it was something that God wanted me to do?
It doesn't matter. If you're gonna crucify this man for saying what his opinion and not doing half of the stuff that we've never seen Jesus do in the Bible, but yet you still say you godly, but you
Where was the man being crucified, though? I think everybody, except for the young lady that was on the phone line, said he shouldn't have been killed. Now, the young lady on the phone line didn't say he should have been killed or he shouldn't have been killed. She said that's between him and God. That was her response. But nobody crucified the man. Hell, I was up there saying, I don't think the nigga was racist. I think he did it to put money in his pockets. Because there's nobody that's come out here. He did debates. Other than the people he debated with, there has been no people that he ran across, he came in contact with that said he was racist. Jed even said that the time he met him, he was nice. He'd be around black people. He'd kick it with black people. He had a lot of black friends. I'm like, but no, seriously, he was around a lot of black people. None of those black people came away with he was racist. Nobody shared any stories about him being racist other than the debates he was having or what he said on his podcast. Nobody in real life said he did X, Y, and Z. He's racist. I could see that. It was a job for him.
Used it under the umbrella. I'm not perfect. So maybe he used it. Maybe he spoke what he said under the umbrella.
Need to
I'm
be
not
triggered.
perfect.
But there's no maybe out of his language. That's the first thing. And the second thing is I'm very clear that I'm not.
Did nobody answer it? They still ain't gonna answer that question.
I believe in God and that I need to get in alignment with a lot of things that God would want for us to do, just like everybody else. And most of the time, if you've heard me call a woman a bitch or say ho, it is a response in a contentious situation. But the majority of my life is about service, uplifting, and helping. And I'm just not an absolute person. I don't profess perfection, nor do I teach people to do these things. And so for you to get on here and assert that I'm doing worse versus a man literally disparaging black women in totality versus me addressing a black woman who presents herself as a threat to me, and you think that's the same, then I'm going to pray for you, because as a person, I may not be perfect. I listen to you, so I want to say this.
He let her get out a whole bunch of shit. She will not stop. But maybe it's just me, but I feel like motherfuckers is cussing you out when they say I'm gonna pray for you. She just said all this fucked up shit about him, and his response was, I'm gonna pray for you. That feel like a cuss out to me. I'm gonna pray for your ass. What are you gonna pray? What exactly would that prayer sound like? Seriously. What would you ask God to do for that person?
Not be perfect. Excuse me, ma'am. I want to say this.
I don't think you punch a woman in the face. He didn't never do that.
Did you see a woman spit in his face?
It didn't matter. I'm sure this man lost his life for what he said.
Well, first of all, you got to know you got to be correct when you're talking, because you didn't see me.
Ma'am, in this situation, people came to jump him. He could have lost his life. That's the situation. That lady, the lady who spit on him or her daddy could have had a weapon and somebody's life could have been lost. Hell, the dude that ended up getting jumped after they tried to jump him, his life could have been lost when they was jumping him. You can't downplay that situation, because we know street fights go too far some goddamn time. So that was the situation. You said he lost his life. Yes, he did in that situation. But also in that situation, Jed was not bothering anyone. Just like Charlie Kirk wasn't bothering anyone, and he got killed. In that situation where Jed got spit on, and he ended up smacking the taste out of the gal mouth, and the daddy tried and got his ass whooped, Jed wasn't looking for confrontation. He was out there doing his activism. They pulled up. They threatened to have more people pull up and fuck him up. So he was mad in his own. He was actually like Charlie Kirk in that situation. He was mad in his own business. And somebody came and tried to take him out. He just happened to be able to defend himself. Charlie didn't see the bullet coming. His vest did, because he definitely had on a bulletproof vest. The vest saw it coming. That's why it blocked the bullet and it ricocheted off and hit him in the neck. But he saw it coming. He had his people there with him. He actually was just sitting there using words. She spit at him, which is like Charlie Kirk was using his words, and then the gunman shot. See the parallel there, old lady? I was trying to interject, but he was like, he had to get his shit out. I had these GMs yesterday, though.
Condemn him. You
I'm
actually
talking to her.
excuse
I saw
me.
her spit.
You saw me put a
But don't
message
let the
out.
violence and don't let the
You
violence.
saw me put a
Some women don't
message
spit on
out.
their husbands,
Excuse
but
me.
they went to jail.
Excuse me. So right now, let me be clear here, because the Bible tells the child to honor their parent and father, but it also sends a message to the parent: don't provoke. It's a two-way street. You don't just get respect. Excuse me.
And now the whole thing is about elders. She trying to say that ain't your child, but he was using it as just because you're the elder doesn't mean that you get to do and say whatever the fuck you want to, which is what these old people in the world now think they can do. And then they wonder why they get cussed the fuck out. These ain't the kids from 1940. In 1930 and 1950, you're going to get your ass cussed the fuck out. If I didn't cuss you out, why are you talking to me crazy? Hell, in most cases, you don't even know these old people and they be talking to you crazy as a motherfucker. Just like you ain't my mama. Why are you talking to me like this? Just like you said, that lady ain't her child. You ain't his mama. Yet you feel like you could come on here and just talk shit to everybody.
Me. If you listen,
Good morning, Mama T.
You're not listening, and I'm assuming you're older than me. In other words, it is a two-way.
I'm way older than you are.
Okay, so it is a two-way street.
That's why I don't.
I see Peanut Butter earlier said that she said his dad turned him in and said a family friend of child or so someone getting their reward. The daddy probably did it, but Harbor said daddy. Was it a reward? I'm sure there wasn't a reward for it. How much was it?
Tolerate foolishness from this generation.
Excuse me. So then, if
and call it God, and it's okay to do it.
Can I interject right quick?
Now keep in mind, she's saying this generation does foolish stuff and bring God in it. I'm the non-believer up there, so I'm just kicked back watching this shit. So she's saying he a younger generation person. He preaches about God, yet she disagree with him calling women bitches and hoes and calling people names and stuff. Check. So she shouldn't be able to do that. If that's what she's judging the younger generation on, you would think that she wouldn't behave like that at all, correct? Oh boy. If you say yes, then you're absolutely wrong.
But before you do that, I'm gonna let you all respond to her, but I need to address what she's saying, because if that's the core of her view, I want to speak to it when you're talking about me. I am an imperfect man, but you cannot say that.
And what was that man?
Ma'am, am I going to be able to talk to you, or you just waiting for an opportunity to respond? I listen to you.
No,
I do not listen. Excuse me. I do not live my life disrespecting women, period. However, I make it clear that I'm not above hurling back insults at people who are insulting. My faith in God is that he will continue to work with me in that. And I represent a God that is merciful and that can perfect those things concerning me. Now, I typically, in my life of service, help people, but there are people who want to hurt me. And I'm not in the business of turning the other cheek just because I'm saying that I'm a believer.
And
so that is a completely different thing than me asserting that everybody of a particular demographic is subversive to me. That is a different thing than me saying that the Bible conclusively say that I am better than them, that they don't deserve certain things. I did not assert that he deserved to be assassinated, but his language and the way he delivered the word was not, in my opinion, demonstrating the pure intent of the word. And I am not happy that he was assassinated, nor am I happy about his rhetoric. And that, I don't think those two are the same.
I think his was words, and I think Black people treat hatred more than anybody across the pulpit and use the name of God in doing it. Now, I hear what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying. But the same Bible I read, that once I gave my life to Christ, I put away my old ways. I put away everything that I thought that I need to defend myself and took up Jesus Christ's ways that took more than anybody, because he gave his life on the cross.
Yeah, y'all heard her say she took up Jesus Christ's ways. What she did to me was the equivalent of Q saying, "You don't believe in God." That was the equivalent of what she did to me. She was mad, boy. She got like 3 of them jumps off on me, and I just took them. You getting cussed out this morning, though. As soon as we get to that part, old lady, I can promise you this.
None of us ever did that. But we choose to say we got God, but we got none of his attributes, no fruit of the Spirit, no nothing. The fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, happiness, long suffering. We want to holler God, but we ain't got none of the fruits of the Spirit. And then
Now, when she's saying we, I guess she including herself. So I take that into account. She's saying we instead of y'all.
We don't just keep those bad attributes to ourselves. You got a whole following that agree with your foolishness, even old people.
She on Jed ass.
I would go to my grave saying, I don't agree with none of your tactics. I don't.
See, the only reason he ain't cuss her out is because he running for Congress. That's why he ain't cuss her out. He said he trying to clean up his image. But what Jed don't realize is people resonate to that. Jasmine Crockett, what the fuck she be doing? She be cussing people out. People resonate with real people. They tired of the PC, politically correct, as you just said, turn the other cheek politicians, man. They want somebody that's gonna cuss your ass out. Memphis loved our mayor, Willie Harrington. That nigga was voted the mayor more than anybody other than Crump, who he had a stronghold on the city. But he won the mayor, first Black mayor, and held the position longer than anybody. And he retired. He did not get voted back in. He retired. But they loved him because he had this clip, and there was a news person in his office trying to get an interview, and he said, "I'm Willie Harrington. Now get the hell out of my office." And Memphis loved him for that because that was real. Anybody got time to deal with your bullshit? We humans, sometimes we have human reactions. You caught me on the wrong day. I'm cussing your ass the fuck out because that's the energy you gave me.
Agree with none of you how you treat Black people. I don't agree with none of you busting out Vivian and her diagnosis.
Now I'm finna start talking.
Judgmental though? Wouldn't that be you being?
No, that's not being. That's true. That's true.
It sounds like she's projecting.
I think it's true.
Well, what
We couldn't take it no more.
Was true too. You actually came up here and compared
But you can't discuss nobody's diagnosis. What you want him discussing if you got AIDS?
I'm not talking about that.
If you got AIDS on your TV?
Okay, I'm gonna answer that. She said, "What I want him coming out here discussing that I have AIDS. If I stood up on a podium on a clip that's been on the national news and then went viral on all social media platforms, hollering how I'm an AIDS survivor or I'm dealing with AIDS, and this person said that they were running their campaign on AIDS and they failed me and I was tricked and they didn't help me because they had a charity for AIDS, then yes, I leave myself, if I publicly say that I have AIDS, then anyone has the right to talk about it because I brought it out here first. So in the case about Vivian, he didn't just bring that out. She came out here and told everybody she had cancer. Now, what he did was he listened to the clips, and then she said she didn't have cancer. She said she had cancer. Then one day, when he said something about her cancer, she said she never had cancer. He didn't bring he brought out the fact that she never had cancer, ma'am. And you talking about he brought out, see, the old lady was just loud and wrong. He didn't say Vivian had cancer. He contended that she never had cancer, that she was lying about it the whole time. That's what he said. And her response to that was, I never said I had cancer. He know who she is. It took him a while, but however, during the middle of this call, he got some information and he started asking her questions and he ran her the fuck up out of there.
I'm not talking about this, but the lady lied about it. I'm talking about your initial assumption.
It don't matter about a lie. Your woman had a debilitating.
How does it not matter that she lied about it? You're up here saying, would you want him talking about her having, that you came up here and said he talked about Vivian having cancer. I said she lied about having cancer. And she said it don't matter. It does. Cancer is one thing, a tumor is another. A tumor, a benign tumor, is not cancerous. It's not cancer. So your outrage is about nothing because she didn't have cancer. He just said you're lying about having cancer so that she could stop lying to people publicly saying she had cancer and getting sympathy for having cancer when she in fact did not. And when pointed out that you don't have cancer, she said, I never said that, when clearly that's how everybody got to meet this woman. I don't think nobody in her real life knew who she was until she stood up at the podium that day yelling at Tiffany Henry about the Tiff Cares Foundation, talking about where are my wigs? She said, where are my wigs? Because, you know, cancer patients have to go through treatments and they lose hair and things of that nature. So, yeah.
Okay, you got that. The most vulnerable part of her brain had nothing to do with cancer, aneurysm. You can die in a second.
We go back to you.
It's worse than cancer.
Can we go back?
It's worse than cancer. A tumor is worse than cancer. The lady didn't have an aneurysm either. She didn't. I don't know where she getting it from. But my question to her is, and I don't know if I asked it. Well, I did eventually, but if she feels this way about this man, why is she even there? She watched the show waiting for him to say call in to voice her displeasure. As I see later on in it, why wouldn't Jesus just compel you to cut this shit off and move on? Because she's going to say a lot. I don't care what y'all think about what I got to say in the chat. So why are you here then? Why are you here? You came to convince some people that you don't care about of some shit. That is crazy. You want them to listen to what you got to say and be on your side, but then you also don't care what they got to say or what they think.
Got personal diagnosis between her and her doctor, and it violates every HIPAA law.
Out here. She brought the personal diagnosis out here. We didn't know that.
No,
she stood up at the meeting and said she had cancer.
Excuse me.
See, and then the lady lied. She just refused to hear the truth. Vivian came out here and said she had cancer. Nobody knew. She told the world she had cancer.
Ma'am, hold on 1 second. Ma'am, hold on 1 second, because this show is about something specifically, and I apologize to two other people here. I want to let y'all talk. Ma'am, can you
discuss
ma'am,
that.
can you listen, please? Can you listen? I want you to hear this.
That's the first shot there. She had already asked, would you want them talking about you got AIDS? And then I'm saying what Vivian came out and she said, if you got AIDS, let them discuss that. Now she don't know me, and she's supposed to be with Jesus in there, yet she's taking shots. I ain't took no shots at this old bitch, but that's the first one. If you got AIDS, let them discuss that. I think the second one was go to hell. The third one, she called me gay. And then I think the fourth one, she went on and cussed, if I got it correct. AIDS, gay. I thought Jesus loved everybody. What does gay have to do with anything? Are you saying Jesus don't like gays? If you say that, I agree with you. But I don't believe in this shit. But I agree with you. That's what the Bible say. It's an abomination. It is what it is. Can't change the word. But I also don't believe in that shit. So I don't judge. I don't care what you do. Is it my thing? Nope. Am I gonna ask you about it? Nope. Am I gonna judge you about it? Nope. But if I feel like I don't want to fuck with you, that's my right. I don't want to fuck with you. You gay. Nobody can harp on me about that. I'm shocked more people didn't talk about Obama saying everybody needs a gay friend. Why? How's that beneficial to life? Having a gay friend that you shouldn't have to, like, you shouldn't know that a person is gay unless they tell you. You shouldn't be able to look at somebody and be like, oh, you gay.
Statement, and I want you to tell me what your thoughts to this is. Give me your second.
I wasn't on my show, so I couldn't cuss out. And he running for shit.
The brain processing power. That was Charlie Kirk saying that black women do not have the brain.
Oh, how come we couldn't hear it on the?
That was Charlie Kirk
Now,
saying.
I heard the clip on the phone. When we were on the phone, I heard it, but so we couldn't hear the clip on the broadcast. I definitely heard it on the phone, though.
Do not have the brain processing. That was Charlie Kirk saying that black women do not have the brain processing power and that they had to go steal a white person's slot to be taken serious. How does that make you feel as a black woman?
Well, this is what I would say to Charlie Kirk on that issue. How many white people work at that company compared to black people? Are you not mad that the white people that weren't qualified got the job and the white person didn't? Because the job is predominantly white. And you mad about the one black person that you deem unqualified, but you're not mad about the white people? That's a bit crazy. That would be my response. It's predominantly white. Why you ain't mad at these white people? Surely, if it's 600 white people in the country, in the company, and it's 3 black people, and you saying the one black person is unqualified, you should be mad at the other 597 white people who may be unqualified as well, correct? Oh, yeah, see, that would be my response.
You say what?
Did you hear what he said?
Hello?
Yes. Did you hear anything?
That's not working for calling somebody a bitch or a hoe.
Did you hear?
It don't matter.
No, I just want to know if she heard what
You know
he said.
what?
Ma'am,
No, MoneyBoy Trey, let me say something.
No, ma'am.
Triggered. I didn't lie, though. What he said wasn't worse than Jed calling somebody a bitch or a hoe. He just explained. He said the black women weren't smart enough, and they were taking jobs from qualified people because of DEI. And that's worse. That's not worse than calling somebody a bitch or a hoe. Even though Charlie Kirk has probably called some women that he fucked with or did something to him a bitch or a hoe. Because let's just be real. This is how men talk. We do. Some use it more frequently than others. Some can hold it back. Some of them don't call you bitches and hoes. Some of them just smack your ass. There's a difference. It's levels to this shit.
I'm going to moderate this broadcast, and I need you to follow me. The question that I asked you is, what did you feel about the statement that was just played?
And that's what I was trying to answer, and he was butting in. I don't feel anything about this statement.
You wasn't trying to answer shit. You didn't say anything. That's why I said that don't matter, Jed. That's not worse than you calling somebody a bitch or a hoe. If you were trying to answer, you would have said something.
And that was his opinion. That don't make them be no less or more than who they are. If people talk to me and say, you is not a doctor, that's your opinion. I know who I am.
You is not a doctor is incorrect grammar, ma'am. It's you are not a doctor. And you're not a doctor, though. So you knowing who you are is false in this situation because you're in fact not a doctor of anything.
I know who I am. So your opinion about me, like, I wouldn't have reacted when you called me bitch or whore, whatever. Because I know who I am. I know who I am, and that's all that matters. Long as I know who I am. I don't care about nobody else's opinion, whether it be the only person opinion I care about because I love him is Jesus, God, and that's it. Because they're the only one wake me up in the morning.
They don't have an opinion. And which one of them wake you up? Is it Jesus that wake you up or God? Or is it both of them? They alternate days.
She did my bills paid. I don't have to go home with none of y'all. I don't care. I don't care about nobody's opinion.
So
because he said that does not make me less than who I am.
So I was correct in saying that Jed saying bitch or hoe is worse than that.
No, what you mean you was correct? No, you weren't, because I lined
that up. You came up here and you said he's done stuff worse.
No, I lined him.
I ain't see, I couldn't see because I was on there, but apparently Jed was giving me the get a look. All right, mission accepted.
Done stuff worse. And he said, what did I do?
With biblical principles.
He called women bitches and hoes. I'm just repeating back what you said.
And he
said, what have I done that's worse? You said he called women bitches and hoes. And then you said
we were talking about biblical principles. Naming one person in the Bible that called women bitches and whores.
They called them harlots. They was called, excuse me, ma'am. I'm gonna tell you in the Bible that
and harlot is the same thing as a whore. So we got her on there, and she told us to find it in the Bible. But then when she told me to go to hell, and I said, well, show me where Jesus told anybody to go to hell in the Bible, since all us, she said, we were speaking on biblical principle. She got mad at me.
Called them harlots. They didn't call them whores, they called them harlots.
Are you backstage?
And that was only
Rahab. No. I keep taking y'all back. Did y'all get the link?
Never called her harlot. She was called a demon from the pits of hell. Revelation 2:19 describes Jezebel.
A hoe, though. Was the woman that washed Jesus' feet, wasn't she a hoe?
No, Jesus never called her that. When they took Mary Magdalene.
I ain't asked what she was called. I said, was she a hoe? See, she trying to play semantics, but I'ma still get her. A
hoe, though. Was the woman that washed Jesus' feet, wasn't she a hoe?
No, Jesus never called her that. When they took Mary Magdalene, he said, you got 5 husbands, and the one you got not your own.
We knew she was
never called her name.
Man, we knew she was a prostitute. Maybe you didn't know, but everybody
else never called her that.
But
wait, it wasn't I said I could, so it was empty. So the email I sent you in truth was empty. I could have sworn I sent them up. Hold on. Let me check. I know I sent something. And I thought I copied the link in there. Yes, it is. I sent it at 7:54, sir. Oh shit. You know what? I sent it to Tommy and not you. I sent it to Truth and Tommy. I ain't trying to send him the damn link. My bad. He gonna look at that motherfucker and be like, what the hell? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna say you tripping. Oh, it's gone now. Hold on. Fuck. Like, yeah, everybody know Mary Magdalene was a hoe. She's like, well, he ain't call her that, ma'am. What did society call her? You don't know what the fuck Jesus called. Like, motherfucker, it's not like that one interaction is what he was with all the time. He could have been with that lady for 4 days and we got a 5-minute clip. A 2-minute interaction. These are things you don't know. You don't know if Jesus bought some of that pussy. If she gave Jesus some of that pussy or what? Was Jesus a virgin? Who knows? These are questions that aren't answered. We don't know. We can only speculate. He ain't count her. He ain't do that. So old ass up. Okay. The truth. I don't know how the fuck I sent Tommy the goddamn link. That was crazy work.
And we knew she was a prostitute. Baby, you didn't know, but everybody else knew she was a prostitute.
But the point,
we know Jesus hung out with prostitutes and pimps and shit. We know this.
But he never called them names. He hung out with them. But
there had to be a name for them, ma'am.
wait, what does that have to do?
We're talking about Jed using the name.
Yes. And so my question to you is that you think that people should be.
The Bible never called anybody gay, but you calling people gay. This shit is crazy. Because Jed believe in the Bible and he quotes scriptures. He can't call nobody a bitch or a hoe. He ain't calling them bitches and hoes while he preaching and things of that nature. But she's saying he can't do it, but she could call names. This shit is crazy. She could call names, be judgmental, be argumentative, all of this shit in the name of Jesus. At what point did Jesus, like, why won't you take peace be still as a verse and just sit your old ass down? Now, this lady finna go off with a whole list of accomplishments and act like she's so busy, but yet she argued with a motherfucker in the middle of the day instead of tending to her goddamn business. She don't even, like, if she got a church here, she claims she a minister. If she got a church, she don't even talk to her congregation as much as she talked to us.
Able to do whatever they want to me, and because I profess Jesus, I'm to do nothing.
Because you a man.
When you accepted Jesus Christ as your personal savior, and you call yourself a preacher, everything go along with that. It's just like if they hire me and I say I am a
peanut butter. Peanut butter. Yeah, I'm telling you what I know. I still watch them. See, you said you ain't watched them since the Kanika Jenkins. You ain't watched them recently. Yeah, he's about 2 times a week he go to preach mode. So yeah, he still do it. Hey, he went live for, I think, for his birthday. He preached from a church. He was in. So are you saying you're not gonna be on time, Truth? Is that what you're saying? You're not gonna be on time for 10 o'clock? I could go over. What it do, clown?
I thought she was coming. Or is that
she is coming. That's what the background noise is. She's saying, "Oh God, oh God, oh God." Is that the problem right now, Truth? You saying, oh God? Because we know it grandparents' day, they have soft jazz playing in the background and shit, and don't be no talking going on. The kids just be eating, and the old people just be there eating and stuff, eating the donuts and the pastries, the apple pie and the pastry strudel. Hey, First Lady Brown. Well, True do got 3 grandkids, but that takes our grandparents' day is the 12th. What? That can't be the 12th. It's today. And unfortunately, Grace and Grandma on her mama's side is in a wheelchair, and my mama lives in Texas, so she ain't had no grandparents to go. And my granddaddy, well, my daddy, she don't have a granddaddy on her mama's side, and my daddy, she wheelchair bound, and this nigga is recliner chair bound. So yeah, she ain't had no grandparents to show up. And my daddy do not move out that damn recliner. He happy football season back.
System analyst, and I get on there and I start playing tic-tac-toe and not doing the job that I agreed that I was going to sell. Now, me myself also carry the gospel and preach the gospel and ordain in ministry. When I got ordained, I took an oath. I'm going to follow the principles in the life of Jesus Christ.
So what about when God, what about?
Hey man, I can't wait to say a few moments later, because she says she takes the principles of that there Bible, and she lived Bible, yet she was ugly. She already insinuated I got AIDS. That's not Jesus like. Why would she think I got AIDS? See, look, I didn't stun on her yesterday by my famous quote. I ain't do it. They don't like it when I do that quote.
In ordaining in ministry.
No, you just said it. Her voice does sound familiar.
The principles in the life of Jesus.
Is that the lady that called it the Philly Field show?
I don't know, but it sounds.
You were talking about Miss Robbie?
It does, yeah, a little bit. It does sound like her, doesn't it?
The lady that was being sued with Philly Field.
It does sound like her.
Now, this lady from Atlanta, though, so it ain't her. The other lady was from St. Louis.
So what about when God? What about when God? Excuse me. So
he definitely confirmed she's from Atlanta, because he got some information to like while he doing this right now, his people is digging, because she called into his call line, and apparently they looked that number up, because she didn't say her name at all, but he was able to. When she said one particular thing, he asked her about, because I guess when he asked her that, or when she said something, it confirmed the information that he had. And he said, "Are you this person?" And then she was talking. And then when he went to ask her, "Do you stay in Atlanta?" she had a long motherfucking pause and was like, "No." Like, "No, you lying, shawty. You lying." And then he had some more conversation with her and was like, he shut her the fuck up pretty much. He knew who the fuck she was.
Here's a question. So what about when God told the children of Israel to go kill everybody? Kill them, their kids, their cattle. Don't take nothing, kill them. What was that?
But see, Jed, that proved my point earlier too, with the favoritism. He gave them the strength to kill them other people. He did. And then when they didn't obey, he allowed them to become slaves for the other group. This is the logic of God throughout the Bible is inconsistent, erratic, and human. It's definitely human. He does shit emotional humans would do.
The law in the Old Testament before Jesus Christ came. But the point is,
it happened. And God,
Jesus.
See,
there we go.
Well, that was under the law in the Old Testament before Jesus Christ came. But
Kids, they're cat.
She said, he said, God told these people, you talking about I can't cuss, I can't fight. What about when God told these people to go kill everything, the babies and all? Yes, God ordered babies to be killed because, you know, babies are a threat. Animals are a threat too, so you got to kill the cattle. I don't know why, but yeah, just kill everything. Fuck it. I want to see blood. This is what God did. And her response was, that was in the Old Testament. For what the fuck does that have to do with anything? You can't ignore that it happened, you stupid motherfucker. Because you know why you can't ignore it happened? Because you read it. That was before Jesus came. He asked about God. See, for some reason, you niggas want to separate God and Jesus. Early in them first 5 books, the creation story and shit, it was just God. There was no Jesus. Jesus was a fucked up ass contingency plan after the earth was flooded and niggas was still wicked. After Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed and niggas was still wicked. It was a contingency plan. He the son. He further down in the pecking order. Jesus can't do shit without God's approval. But you niggas want to separate this shit and say it's all one. No. It's God. Then it's a Jesus. Jesus is clearly the son. So he's not the all-powerful one. He may be next in line, but God can't die, so Jesus will never be the king. He would never be the big boss. And I explain this, and she don't like me. I gotta go to hell for explaining this shit to believers. This is crazy.
Don't take nothing, kill.
But if I go to hell, your old ass gonna be there with me, bitch. You don't know where you going.
What was that?
well, that was under the law in the Old Testament before Jesus Christ came. But the point is,
it happened. It happened, and God. Jesus,
okay.
Jesus.
That's the first time she got my name right. At first, I was Money Trey. When it was time to go to hell, boy, she got that name right. Money Boy Trey, go to hell. I done been told to go to hell so much on this junk. It's ridiculous.
She wanted to make sure she was sending the right person to hell.
I thought y'all said that can't nobody send you to hell but Jesus. So how you gonna tell me to go to hell? Hell is an imaginary place. Hell is in your mind. No place else. But fine. I want to slow dance with you in hell, you old bitch. Put on your Dr. Shows orthopedics and meet me on the dance floor.
that was under the law in the Old Testament before Jesus Christ came. But the point is,
it happened.
So the Old Testament is wrong?
Jesus.
They just, for some reason, these niggas, when they want to just excuse some shit, they want to act like the Old Testament don't exist. My mama tried this shit the other day, and I said, okay, the Old Testament is null and void. So why is you talking about commandment number 5? Why are you talking about any commandment? Because that's null and void. But even still, Jesus didn't come to change no fucking law. So if the 10 commandments is law, Jesus coming ain't got shit to do with that, because he said, I'm not changing no laws. I'm here to fulfill them. You can't fulfill no 10 commandments. Or he did fulfill the 10 commandments, but he didn't change shit. So how you gonna say the Old Testament null and void, but then also quote the old goddamn Testament?
That would be.
You always go back to the covenants in the Old Testament, but that shit's supposed to be null and void. I'm sick of niggas in their religion. I'm sorry.
That would make the enslavement of the Jews non-existent.
Yes.
That would make Moses non-existent. That would make
everything. You ain't supposed to talk about
the flood, the flood non-existent.
You ain't supposed to talk about this shit. Yet they do. You ain't supposed to talk about it, but they managed to do it all the time. This nigga is an Indiana Fever fan. Boy, if you don't take your Caitlin Clark, you name somebody else on the Indiana Fever other than Caitlin Clark, sir.
Let me see, man. You got Sophie Cunningham. You have you got Mitchell. You got Boston. You got Howard. I've been following them all year, brother.
See, I thought you was gonna Google it right quick, but since you spit them off the top of your head, I believe you. But I thought you were gonna Google them. Now he didn't Google that. He didn't Google that quick because he wouldn't. He had no idea I was gonna ask it. That nigga don't type that fast.
Man, that's been my hangout, man, all summer, man. Goddamn, I'm an Indiana Fever fan.
Okay, then. I got attacked, man. Did you see this shit? Go to hell, money boy. She ain't tell. She got smoked with Jan.
I thought that was Grabowski talking.
Man, how she mad at Jad and disapprove of what he do? How come she didn't tell him to go to hell? That's all I'm saying. Why did I
thought y'all were fussing with Cheryl Grabowski?
That's who it reminded me of when she said it.
Their cattle don't take nothing, kill them. What was that?
Well, that was under the law in the Old Testament before Jesus Christ came. But the point is, it happened.
I just want to know, what law did Jesus fulfill exactly? Because they said a lot, but nobody ever says the law that he fulfilled. Which one did he fulfill? Because he also said Caesar had his own law and give Caesar what's his. And then God got his shit, give God what's his. What law did he fulfill? Because he clearly said he paying his taxes and shit. He obeying the government. I'm just saying.
That was under the law in the Old Testament.
Good morning, Air Boogie.
Came. But the point is, it happened. It happened, and God, Jesus, shut the hell up. Jesus, you can say shut the hell up all you want.
Wait a minute, now that wasn't godly to tell him to shut the hell up? According to
that ain't Christ.
Under the ministry, she's supposed to be living like God, but it gets deeper.
Like that ain't Christian like. It was very godly like. Jesus,
it was very godly like. Okay, Jed just pointed out how God did some angry, vengeful shit, and she said that was in the Old Testament. Discount this shit. But then she just said what she did was very godly like, which would be Old Testament behavior, and it's supposed to be discarded, and she ain't supposed to bring it up or use that as no example because she discounted Jed's example. See, to these Christians always move the motherfucking goalpost to suit they bullshit.
Wait a minute now. Hold on now.
Who did Jesus
Hold on.
Jesus is not the author of confusion. And I asked her, who the fuck did Jesus argue with? Or did Jesus say his piece and move the fuck on? That's all I'm saying.
Wait a minute now. Hold on now.
Who did Jesus
Hold on. You literally just told him to shut the hell up. Why couldn't you demonstrate the patience?
I ain't say all Christians. I said Christians. See, it's the difference. You said all. I just said Christians. If the shoe fit, wear it. If it don't apply, let it fly.
Amen, bro.
The long suffering.
Who Jesus say us shut the hell up? Since you told us to find somebody that was called hope.
Okay, listen. When Pontius Pilate, when they was getting ready to go to the cross, he asked Jesus, he said, who the Son of Man said you are?
Wait a minute. I asked this woman, who did Jesus say go to hell to? And she talking about when Pontius Pilate asked him who he was, and he said, I am whoever you think I am. How is that equivalent to go to hell, or did she just ignore the question and just say some shit? Pontius Pilate. Pontius Pilate didn't want to kill him. He didn't want to kill him. He was like, I can't find no crime with this nigga. He put it in the people's hand for some reason. But yeah, Pontius Pilate, he didn't want to kill him. He fulfilled his divine role to say, no, I ain't gonna kill him. I'm gonna put it on the people. And God wanted the people to kill his son, even though them people didn't like him. They thought he was a heretic, and the actual punishment for being a heretic to anybody in the Bible was death. If you were thought to be a false prophet, a liar, and things of that nature, they condemned you to death. So even Jesus being killed, like people saying they hated on Jesus. No, that's just the crime he was charged with, and he was found guilty by the people, the jury of his peers. I'm just saying. Yeah, why don't people think about this like this? That was actually everybody that was a heretic got killed. They thought Jesus was a heretic. He was being charged with the crime of heresy.
Hold on, let me respond to First Lady Brown real quick. She said, I found some Christian quotes. Hold up, screen moved along. I found some Christians quote a lot of sermons instead of actually reading the word. I find that a lot of Christians don't do history and just rely on the book. That's just my opinion. I'm not throwing no shots, but
that is their history, sir. That is their history, the book.
Man, religious history, I'm saying go back 20,000 years or more. We getting something that's 2,000 years old.
I'm just saying that's where they'll start at. They'll start in the Garden of Eden, but somehow the Egyptian civilization exists, but all civilization started in the garden.
It ain't got nothing to do with the Egyptians, because the Egyptians had something way before them.
No, I'm just saying in the chronological order of the story, there was nothing. God created the earth. Adam was the first person on the earth, yet somehow all Adam's descendants became slaves of Egyptians. How did the Egyptians already have a society built for Moses to be shipped off down the Nile River to be adopted? Where did this civilization come from? It was just Adam and Eve, and then Cain and Abel.
It wasn't no just Adam and Eve, but they would know that if they do the history, because Adam and Eve was here
according
6,000 BC. That was about 8,000 years ago.
Man,
I'm going by the book. I'm going by the book. That's how I came up with the year.
But let's keep going by the book, though. Now, after God created Adam and Eve, they sinned, and they had to have kids. They had Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel. So it's Adam, Eve, and fucking Cain. I mean, Abel. Or whatever, Cain. God said, couldn't nobody kill Cain, so Cain is still supposed to be alive, because if anybody killed this nigga, they was going to be punished 7 times over. But Cain somehow ended up going to the land of Nod, where he found a wife. But Adam and Eve were supposed to be God's only creations.
But
I'm just going by the book. Where did the land of Nod come from, and how was there women's in the land of Nod if it was just Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel?
He was scared of the persecution on the outside of the garden after God found out what he did. So who were the people on the outside of the garden? You know what I'm saying? But we don't ask ourselves those questions.
That's the history book, sir. No, that part, it just gets ignored completely. There is no logic. It's just belief. And my mama said that to me the other day. She was like, you got to have a certain level of, no, I don't. I do
let
not.
Her know.
No.
Let her know that these Romans put the word lie in the middle of belief.
She know about the Romans. We were Catholic. That's how I was Catholic. Our whole family on my mama's side is Catholic.
she's not breaking down the root of the word. The word lie is in belief. And they gave it to us. So basically, you be lie. Continue.
Yeah, D Truth typing in the chat. It had to be other people on the earth besides Adam and Eve. It had to be for this nigga to go to the land of God and find a wife. And then
that's why I said
had a whole civilization built that they were able to adopt the Hebrew, which would have came from Adam's lineage. They was able to ship this nigga down the Nile River to be adopted by pharaohs, which meant pharaohs had a society and riches and pyramids, because they said he came up in the way of the Egyptians. He knew how to read hieroglyphics. So these motherfuckers had a language and everything. But Adam and Eve was the first people here. It just don't make sense.
Hey, D Truth, you was in the military, and I'm pretty sure you traveled the world. Do you know there's cities and buildings out there older than Adam and Eve? They're still sitting here on this planet. We can actually go see and touch this, older than Adam and Eve. So who built these things?
If you go to the Sea of Galilee, if you go to the caves and stuff like that,
it could be Miss Loretta Naya, but I'm thinking about the other lady that got sued with Philly Field. But it could, it sounded like a little Miss. All these old hoes sounded like, fuck it. They all sounded like. My bad, D True.
Well, I mean, they're saying, well, if you go back and you look at other people's biblical work, they date themselves way beyond 6,000 to 10,000 years.
Yeah, I've seen some establishment 20, 30,000 years. Still sitting here on Earth.
Well, again, this is where the Bible clashes with science.
Not science, world history.
Well, science in general, because if there's a man that they find that's 10,000 years old or 20,000 years old, doesn't that put in question the whole Bible's existence?
They already did that. They found skeletons in I believe Southern Africa that dated back about 1 million. We underestimate how long we was here just by what they gave us.
We got a good comment. HNIC. Hold on, let me put it up on the board. We got a good comment. The same logic you said. They only speak minutes when Jesus spoke to Mary. They don't tell every single day in the Bible. No, they don't say every single day in the Bible, but they said Adam was created, and then Eve was created from his rib, and they were the only two people on the earth, and it was just them. And part of the punishment from them eating the fruit, Eve had to feel the pains of childbirth. When were other nations and civilizations created? Because according to the Bible, all civilizations stemmed from Adam and Eve. Yet when Cain was put out the garden, there was another race of people in a land which had a name, Nod, and he was able to find a wife.
Matter of fact, they refer to those people in the book numerous times of the people of the way. The people of the way is the people of way back. They have no written history of when they got here. They just always been here, which are the black folks. They have no written records for us. We just always been here as far as they know. And that's what they're trying to cover up.
The Bible says that the lineage of Abraham is that of Adam and Eve. So again, you still ain't that it didn't. Where do the other people come from if they were the only two people on earth? And then the pain again, their punishment was you gotta feel the pains of childbirth. So if the land of Nod existed, they was just having kids and they didn't feel no birth pains, but it never said that the land of Nod was created, nor do we know any of those people's names. There's a whole civilization going on outside the garden. Or it just conveniently forgot to mention that. Why did it feel that Adam and Eve was more important than the land of Nod? Because apparently the land of Nod had it going the fuck on. He was able to stumble onto that bitch. He was wandering on his punishment that God gave him and stumbled upon the land of Nod. So that couldn't have been from Adam and Eve's descendants. You say
I'm
Adam and
still
Eve
trying to
had
figure out.
daughters. Does it say that in the Bible that he had daughters? The one that we read currently, does it say that in there? And if not, why did they take it out? And why are they hiding that information from people? I don't know why that's important that they had daughters, because the daughters still couldn't have produced the land of Nod, because the daughters wasn't around when Cain and Abel were there. And Abel got killed.
I think you jumped too far ahead. But still, nobody told us how in the hell somebody was here to write the first day of light. If it wasn't no light to write, and it don't make sense.
Well, they claim Moses was told. They claim Moses was told all this on the mountain when he was talking to the burning bush, and Moses supposed to have wrote all 5 books, including the books that was done after he died. But he's supposed
I'm talking to the burning bush
shit
for breakfast.
Me too.
Well,
don't you hear my bit?
Well, why would they have to label BC?
Because they want you to know the Old Testament don't exist. Yeah, they want you to know the Old Testament null and void. BC.
It's a lot deeper than that. It comes down to astronomy. You know what I'm saying? And the people who came in and conquered us stole the tools that we had of astronomy, mathematics, and all this stuff, and they trying to recreate what we already had for thousands of years because they the new kids on the block. So when they conquered us, what was it? Who was the last person to fall? The girl. Damn, her name is popular. But when she fell, that's when
about the one that tricked Caesar, the one that tricked fuck. Her name is on the tip of my tongue.
Not Cleopatra.
Cleopatra.
Yeah. Basically, when you're looking at the calendar, you got to look at it from that point, because once they beat Cleopatra, they started the calendar over.
No problem, HNIC. This is what we do. We have debates, and we don't call each other names. We just talk. We share opinions. I know you were listening because you pointed out what I said about how we only have minutes. So I know you were listening.
Occasionally we call each other names, but not often. I'm just saying. Well,
I be on vacation. I don't know.
You can't just dismiss a whole book because you wrote another one that contradicts the one before it.
First of all, that book is so flawed. Do we realize that all these people that is writing about this God all lived at different time frames? So we're missing a lot of in between.
Yeah, they said there's almost 60,000 scriptures underneath the Vatican that they did not use for the New Testament.
I think it's more than that.
The book of Enoch is one of them.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I know it's more than that.
They took out.
And the problem is, the problem is they can't read the language, because those people no longer exist, or there's no rooted language here today. You know what I'm saying? As far as the tablets that they are finding in a lot of these old cities, 35, 45, 65,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying? There's things written in clay and everything, but they just can't read the language. So it could be a whole lot more stuff.
Well, I'm just talking about that went into the New Testament, the book of Judas. They didn't want that in there because in there, Judas says, Jesus knew I was going to betray him because he told me to.
The Council of Nicaea.
No, it wasn't just that. It was King James too. King James had a big hand in writing the New Testament. And everybody and most people don't know. They say Jesus don't like gays and all that stuff. This dude was a dancing stripper. You know what I'm saying? Not like that, but yeah, he was fruity as hell. You know what I'm saying? Had the people rewrite the Bible for
Yes.
for this new world that they're trying to recreate for themselves.
No, understand something. He had them write the new Bible so that he may divorce his wife. He paid for the new Bible so that it can change things in it, which would allow him to eliminate his wife of the time.
Oh, I didn't know he was married.
Yeah,
New info.
Yeah. And then they went back. I think they revised it again for for a couple other kings.
Yeah, but that was basically it. Whatever he rewritten for, we got to.
Not only that, Gleo, they not only that. Once you decided, you start killing any motherfucker that don't want to accept their religion. That whole part of religion gets pushed away. Most people was forced into Christianity. They were scared to die. Cause that was the punishment. You gonna take during the Crusades, you gonna take this Christianity and this Bible, or you gonna die, my nigga. All right, I'm gonna be a Christian.
Man, I think Constantine was after the Crusades. So no telling how long that shit ran, because he was 300 AD.
Well, Trey, you should know this better than anybody. The Crusades were actually started because there was two popes. And one pope sided with the king, and the other pope sided with religion, with the religious sector.
What's scary about that is they both could have been black. That's the scary part. They both could have been black there at that point.
The Crusades were a form of payment. They wanted all the money. That's where the Knights of Templar come from. That's where
you wouldn't even have Islam at the You wouldn't have Islam if the Crusades wasn't there.
Well, that's because they fought back.
Yeah,
I hate to end this show. Y'all gonna be available for part 2 tonight? Cause we done said some good shit that I need AI to catch out into clips, and I got like 8 more minutes before the cutoff. No, seriously, because I was gonna let it go long, but I was like, no, we done said some real shit, and I want AI to catch some of it. I can do part 2 tonight, cause I ain't got nothing else going on. Are y'all available for part 2?
I might be.
Cause no, the conversation is the conversation still gonna be this. Why I'm having this conversation with the lady, but we just pointed out already where you talk about how he talked. You just told me to go to hell, and then you said it's very godly. When he told you that's not godlike, yes it is, and tried to back it up with scripture that didn't make sense. So the conversation to still be there. It's still gonna be there.
But the Bible is
I'm just gonna cuss this bitch out.
But the Bible was made for fear. Everything in there points at doom and gloom. If you don't do this, you're going to hell. If you don't do that, you're going to hell. If you don't pay your tithe,
but if you obey me, you'll be blessed in the afterlife. In the afterlife, because during your time on life, I gotta test you to see if you really deserve this shit that you've been asking for that I promised you. I gotta test you. But you know what I'm saying? Even if I make it hard for you and take away all your earthly possessions, I got you in the afterlife, because you can use a Lamborghini in the afterlife. You can lose $1 billion in the afterlife. So I got you, G. You hear me?
The main origins of all of it, you know what I'm saying, especially the Old Testament, is population control. That's what they invented the whole thing for, was population control, and it's still continuing.
Well, the poor wouldn't work if they didn't have hope, right?
They were building stuff way before before they put this order in place. Like I said, there's huge cities with blocks that's impossible to move by us. You know what I'm saying? They're standing there way before all this came to be. So all of it had to come down to just population control. Somebody wanted to control everybody on the planet.
Exactly. Give them hope. Keep them working. Without hope, you don't work. You become depressed and you decide that you don't want to be here.
I mean,
and keep them giving away 10% of their income so they can stay poor.
Yes, and because of hope.
And for the people who's doing that, switch that around. Pay that 10% to yourself because you are the God. You was made in their image.
Put it in their savings and let it accrue some interest.
That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to be savings onto you. You know what I'm saying? You did God's work. So why ain't you paying yourself?
Do preachers pay tithes?
No.
No,
they don't.
Cadillac.
Not at all.
But it doesn't. It says pay tithes to the church, not to
they don't.
No.
Well, some of them claim that. Go ahead.
They say pay due to Caesar. Pay due what's due to Caesar, and then pay God.
Them your
so
taxes.
Caesar put himself in front of God. So actually, you're supposed to be paying Caesar and God. So what's that? 20% or 5% of
government? Well, the government take theirs automatically. Yeah, but it's some pastors say they give their tithes to another pastor, but I think they lie. But they claim some of them say they give it to another pastor. They tie it to another church.
But according to the Roman Empire, if you are hailed as a Caesar, you are a god.
Yep, pay him, damn it.
Pay their government. They taking it out automatically. Caesar get his automatically before you get your money. Caesar got his. You hear me?
Yeah, buddy. Caesar's still around to this day.
But all right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with part 2, 9 o'clock tonight. To the next episode, little channel, big voice. We out.
Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe, stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating. Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe, stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating.
Affiliated, raised with the killers. Waiting for Facebook and Twitter. Bad guy feel like the realer. The land, the odds feel like the wizard. Met a chick, say her name Crystal. Booty big, soft as some tissue. Corporated, started from a dealer. Still curtain just like the Steelers. I'm in traffic doing what I want. Promoters call away from Arizona. Couple more, call from Oklahoma. Pockets bigger, you can say they grown up. Own pistol, never need a loaner. Own clientele, I've been a corner. Willie Nelson, guess I've been a stoner. These rappers fake, Bart Simpson, Homer. Saddle up, but we ain't ride horses. Designer shoes, but still rockin' forces. In the trap, we never had choices. I'm paranoid, I think I'm hearing voices. Seeing what I say, I'm paying portions. No matter what, you never can afford it. I'm the shit, I think I need a toilet. Out of sandwich bags, I guess I gotta foil it.
Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe, stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating. Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe, stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating. Hotline, my phone stay ringing. $4 grand iced out my pink. Too loud, smoking gas, no secret. I fought a loop, late night creeping. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. Party all night, ain't no sleep. Money up, I'm good, I'm eating. Red bone from the back, I'm beating. She calling out my name like the weekend. Dripping sauce, steady nutrient. Hopping out, feeling coopin'. Drop the top, I don't know where the roof is. I stay in exclusive, Pussy Canna Resort all inclusive. I don't want that little bitch, she a nuisance. Burn her brain, drop her off, throw them deuces. Golden State, all my niggas some shooters. 50 cat F&M and them Rugers. Told the package I'm flexing, let's Luger. On the prowl for some milk for some cougars. 12 inches, they calling me ruler. Dick 'em down when I'm done, call her Uber. Dick 'em down when I'm done, call her Uber. Dick her down when I'm done, call her Uber.
Oh shit.